Hey guys! So, hope everybody had a good night and a good Sunday morning. I know I usually won't do a video on Sunday mornings unless I get up really early, but I don't see that happening. I do have to work today. I have to work 4 to 10. A little bit longer of a shift. Anyway, so today I decided to, we're moving on from the beginning animals. We're still in the animal starts section, but this one today is called How to Put Your Homestead Animals to Work. And I can only show this from the side, like this, because there's too much glare from behind me. So hopefully you guys can see that at least a little bit. I can't. Yeah, it's not gonna work. I can't show it from the straight on. There's too much glare. Anyway, so we're just going to get right into this since I have to work today, and so I can get the video out there. This one is from Boots and Hooves Homestead. And it's called How to Put Your Homestead Animals to Work. Okay. Are you looking for ways to simplify your homestead processes? I'm going to share a few ways for how to put your homestead animals to work to help save some precious time. How many of you are looking for ways to save time on your homestead? I'm raising my hand. Some days it seems like there's never enough hours. Always. And he says, am I right? Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And I experienced that even with just the gardening, and we just had chickens, so. And the chickens didn't really take much work. I fed them a lot of, weeds and stuff that we pulled up, and garden scraps, and the occasional bad strawberry that I picked. They love strawberries. But, it does seem like there's never enough time, especially when it comes to putting up your garden harvest and taking care of your animals and still taking care of your gardens and everything else. So, one way that we try to save precious time around our homestead is by striving for a simpler life. And I'm going to incorporate some of these ideas on our homestead because there's always room to try to make things a little bit easier. But sometimes homesteading doesn't really feel simple. There's always something that needs to be done. You get up early, take care of the family and animals. There seems to be never-ending projects, repairs, or routine maintenance. Sorry, there's ads coming up. A sometimes overlooked way to save time is by using your animals as helpers by doing what they were born to do. Sorry, I'm being attacked by my stuff sitting here. And by doing this, not only does it help us, but it also keeps them happy and healthy. Okay, garden prep. Goats, chickens, and pigs help prep garden areas before planting. Goats help by getting rid of unwanted brush. Chickens scratch and help till the ground. Pigs are also great at digging and turning the soil. Now, we're going to have raised garden beds. But that doesn't mean that we can't, say in the spring, that we can't, let the chickens into the garden area and put boards up into the garden beds so they can get up in there. Because I'm hoping that we can do our garden beds 8 foot by 4 foot and have them 2 foot? At least 2 foot high. 8 by 4 by 2. 8 feet long, 4 feet wide, and 2 feet high. That's what I want to be able to do with our garden beds. Hoping. Anyway. They provide fertilizer, aka manure. Goats, rabbits, and chickens are great sources of manure for the garden. Some say that using chicken manure is best because it is very high in nitrogen and also contains a good amount of potassium and phosphorus. It should compost for a while. We use a mix of both goat and chicken manure around here, and personally I prefer using goat manure over most other livestock because it's almost odorless. Pest and insect control. Chickens, ducks, geese, turkeys, guineas, and pretty much all fowl help keep insects under control. Guineas are especially helpful if you live in an area with a lot of ticks. We have definitely noticed a decrease in the amount of ticks hanging around here since we added guineas to the homestead, and we are definitely getting guineas. And I know where I can get them. So, the guy that, Andrew, the friend of ours that I work with, that's offered to help us out with our property and help get us up there and stuff. The guy that he's gotten his chickens, and I don't know if he has any ducks or not, but the guy that he's gotten his chickens from also has like ducks and geese and turkeys and guineas and all the homestead fowl that you can think of. Compost help. Using chickens in the compost pile helps to keep it turned, saving that ever so valuable time. I will probably do that because I never got around to doing that in Michigan. And that compost definitely needs to be turned. Chickens naturally scratch and help break down the grass, leaves, and food scraps into beautiful compost that you can use in your garden. Zero waste. Animals love to eat treats from the kitchen. Whenever we have leftovers or scraps of food from the kitchen, I give them to our animals. Have leftover scrambled eggs from breakfast? Feed them back to the chickens. Certain foods are better for the ducks or chickens, and some are better for the goats or the dogs. If you have pigs, they love most leftovers or scraps. Whatever isn't safe for some of our animals goes to another. Providing them with kitchen treats keeps them happy and healthy, and it also helps us cut down on waste. Lawn care. Goats, sheep, and donkeys are great at keeping up with the lawn care. While they probably won't give you a manicured lawn, they definitely save us mowing time over the summer. And I have to remember that with the goats.
Yeah.
Because personally, I think mowing is a waste of time. I think lawns should be... I think, personally, I believe that if you have extra space on your property, you should make use of it for something that is going to help you and your family on your homestead, not just to look at. Because lawn to me is a waste of space. And it's useless. And it does nothing. It doesn't help you. It just sits there and grows and makes it to where you have to cut the lawn, and that takes time. And that takes time away from other things that are actually necessary on the homestead. So, that's my personal opinion. But I think lawn is a waste of time. Brush and land cleanup. Speaking of yard care, goats are excellent browsers. They love to browse around for their food, and in doing so, they clear up unwanted brush, weeds, grass, and even trees. I'm definitely going to be getting goats. As soon as I know we can be spending some time up there, I'm going to be getting goats. We put our goats to work to help with our homestead income and allow them to clear up brush at a local ranch. Predator control. Many different livestock can help protect each other as well as smaller animals from predators. We have a huge problem with predators in the area where we live, and yeah, we will. Yeah, same for us, especially on the mountain. We can't free range our chickens and other smaller animals safely unless we have a livestock guardian out there to watch over them. Sorry, I clicked on something else. Just want to see how long this is. I want to add to... Yeah, I think I'm going to add to this on the predators. They're talking about the free ranging. And it says, when raising chickens, you may want to free range your chickens, but oftentimes it isn't the safest option to keep your flock safe. There are many pros and cons to raising free ranging chickens. Today I'm going to cover mostly the cons. We first started our homestead a few years ago. The plan was to raise free range chickens. It worked for a little while but didn't last long. If you're looking for info on whether or not to raise free range chickens, maybe our experience can help you a little bit. And obviously this isn't ours. This is the people talking that this happened on their homestead. Looks like they had a lot of Isa Browns. Those are pretty chickens. Our little homestead has suffered too much loss. Death is inevitable, but we still grow attached to our farm animals. It is completely devastating when a predator comes and wipes out the majority of your flock. We went through that. We lost 8 out of 10 of the Buff Orpingtons that we had. We lost the first 2 white leghorns, not out of the chicks that I had, that I raised. We lost the 2 adult white leghorn hens that were given to us. They killed the first rooster that we had, and then they were taken out by coons. So we lost a total of 11 chickens. Anyway, benefits of free-range chickens. Before I dive into the cons of free-ranging, I thought I'd cover a few things that are beneficial to raising chickens that roam freely around the yard or pasture. Typically, chickens that are allowed to free-range are much more happier and healthier. They have a better quality of life, and free-range eggs are so much more delicious and nutritious. That is true. Predator problems. Plus, being able to free range your chickens means you're not going to have to give them as much food at a time. Whether you buy the food or grow the food. And we're going to be growing the food. And they'll get the kitchen scraps and plenty of other things. We are not going to have to buy the food. I will probably start out stocking up on some bags of chicken feed, goat feed, duck, whatever else, geese, that kind of thing. The healthy feed for them that I know is non-GMO, that kind of thing, to start out for when we do get our animals, because we are going to be growing their food. And obviously we're not, it's going to take a little bit for that, so gotta have something to feed them. But I will make sure it's healthy. And I will do a video about that and let everybody know, what we're using and what I found and that kind of thing. Okay, predator problems. We had the issues with coons back in Michigan. We came home from church one Sunday evening and it was just dusk, but an opossum was out and about. He decided to go after our flock. This opossum took out about half of them before we were able to get the chickens to safety. Needless to say, he didn't live to eat another chicken. After that experience, I decided I would keep my backyard chickens to free range for half of the day. Despite my best efforts of keeping watch, things happen. An owl got a few of my free range chickens, who knew that owls were out hunting during the middle of the day, because I sure didn't. That's something we'll have to remember, because I am pretty sure owls are prevalent out in the mountains. And then there's the ongoing and current problem we have with a fox. They don't say sly as a fox for no reason. These predators are incredibly smart. One took out all but one of our free-range chickens. This was with me keeping an eye on them, too. That stinker was watching me and noticed when I walked away briefly. So safely raising free-range chickens just is not an option for us. I've tried different things to keep predators out, but they are intelligent animals. Sorry, there's an ad that popped up. The inside of our coop flooring is concrete, yet I still have predators trying to dig to get to our flock. They are so smart that they are even picking at the wood and breaking small pieces off. Completely ridiculous. Around here we are dealing with and battling owls, opossums, raccoons, chicken hawks, skunks, and foxes. I'm sure there's others that I'm forgetting about. Ours in Michigan was raccoons. And the reason I know that is because I looked it up. I looked up the chicken predators and exactly what you find left behind with each of the different predators, and raccoons was the only thing it fit. So, but you see our problem and why we choose not to free-range our chickens. Raise free-range chickens. It seems like it's never ending, and I want to do everything in my power to protect our ladies while still giving them an awesome life. Solutions to predators. Stupid ads. Because the girls still need outdoor time, but I don't want them to keep them locked up in the hen house all day. And free-range chickens still need to use a coop during the night. One of our solutions is to utilize a few things that we currently have at our homestead. We are putting our goats to work to help protect our chickens and ducks. We rotate several between being home or out in pastures for free-range time. Goats love to browse, clear up trees and brush, so we give them time to do what they love, but when they are home at the ranch, they help protect the chickens. The goat pen is set up to wrap around our chicken coop. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
We keep our guineas with our chickens and they alert us of potential dangers, and that's why the guinea house is going to be in that coop area, because guineas and turkeys are very good guard birds for your flocks.
And the
guineas especially.
The guineas help protect from snakes.
And Doug and Stacy have enough guineas to where they alert them when anybody even comes onto their property.
Guard guineas.
Yep. Such as approaching predators. Our ducks are also set up near the coop with their own little housing pool and fenced-in run. Have you ever heard a duck? They are very loud. I've noticed whenever anything such as our goats get too close to their pen, they alert us of danger. Currently, we are working on creating a larger run for our chickens that will be harder than Fort Knox to get into. Ha! We are using fence panels and then lining it with hardware cloth. The roof is also lined. By the way, I always use hardware cloth and not chicken wire. Always use hardware cloth and not chicken wire for your chickens. Chicken wire is basically pointless. Any predator can get through it easily, and that is true. We lined all of the area around our chicken coop in Michigan with the hardware fence. The hardwire fence. Another suggestion several of my friends use is a chicken tractor. It helps them to raise free-range birds that they can move around the yard or pasture, plus the chicken poop helps their grass grow in nicely. I don't really care about grass, so... Another solution we've been testing out is to utilize electric fencing. We're not going to do that. This has worked for keeping our goats safe in grazing and browsing zones. We're going to have the fence around the entire living space and the privacy fence. So, update. This fencing is amazing and has kept our goats and allowed us to free range our chickens in small areas around the yard. Alright, and so I'm going to go back to what I had on here. Come on. Sorry, I hate waiting on my phone. I knew it was going to do that. I knew it was going to do that. I just got to find out where I left off. Okay. I just wanted to get that extra in there on the predators because predators can be a big problem. And we did have a lot of issues, so I wanted to get that in there. It's going to make the video a little bit longer, but... Many people keep a livestock guardian dog. Others use donkeys and llamas. We're not going to have donkeys and llamas. Some work better than others. Sometimes having a protective rooster or geese with your chickens can help. Our rooster is very protective of his ladies, and our ducks are also helpful with keeping the predators away. And our ducks are happy to chase small farm cats away. Interesting. Having our goats near the chicken coop has helped deter the predators a little for us. Nothing is foolproof though, so it's always important to make sure we have a variety of options. Herding. Many breeds of dogs are excellent helpers for rounding up stray cattle, goats, and sheep. We have a very special bred hanging tree cattle dog that is excellent in helping my husband move and round up our goats and cows. There are tons of different herding dogs that are bred for this job and are easily trained. Companionship, aka instant therapy. Last but definitely not least, and perhaps one of the most rewarding jobs of all, they provide great companionship and are total mood boosters. This is very true. That is one of the reasons why you will see in a couple of the videos that I did in Michigan when we were having some major issues, I would go out, do a video, and I would go out to the chickens and just talk to you guys, and it really did pick up my mood, and it helped with some of the things that were going on. So, sorry. So there you have my top 10 ways of putting animals to work on the homestead. It's all about saving time, working smarter and not harder. How do you put your animals to work on the homestead? Leave a comment in the comments section. How do you put your animals to work on the homestead? So, not as long as I thought it was going to be. Anyway, I hope you guys get some good information out of it and, answer the question. I'm curious to find out, how do you guys put your animals to work on your homestead? Maybe give us a few more ideas. But, hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'll get this out there, and again, I gotta work this afternoon from 4 to 10, but I'll definitely get a video out there in the morning, and I do have to work tomorrow, but I don't have to work late, so. But I will see you guys on the next video, and you guys have a good night, and I would like to know, how do you guys put your animals to work on your homestead? See you guys in the next video. Thanks, bye guys.